Hello Paul, I thought I'd make you a little video in reference to the question you asked me earlier. Hopefully a picture speaks 1,000 words. Okay, so assuming you have a 10 channel receiver installed, actually for everyone else, Paul has asked how you mix a pump. So one channel is controlled via another one, i.e. when he's driving or digging, he wants his hydraulic pump to run at the same time. Okay, so Paul, first of all, use one of your aux channels, aux 1 to 5. In this instance, to keep it very simple, I've put the pump on aux 5. As you can see there, R knob is relating to this one. Okay, right, so let's go. Sorry for my dull tones, by the way. List, main screen. So we're in Paul's model. If we scroll to monitor, aux 5 being this one here is going to rotate, and we'll assume the pump, well, we won't assume, we know the hydraulic pump only operates in one direction. So that's plus 100 maximum, 0, thereabouts, and then minus. Now, obviously, pumps don't like to go in reverse because they don't supply any pressure. So for all our mixing, we'll go from 0 to 100. Okay, and the idea is when we move the throttle, this stick, the pump will also move at the same time, but we'll simulate that on the monitor screen. So when we move the rudder, the pump AX5 will also move. When we move the elevator and the aileron, AX5 will move. Okay, very easy. List, scroll to mixing, choose your first mix. On this particular radio, I've got 16 mixes. None of them are being used at the moment. So mix 1. We're going to have normal. The master is always the one on the left. So in this instance, we want the throttle channel to control the pump. So we'll go to throttle, and we know the pump is on AX5. So we'll scroll to AX5. So that tells us that when I move the throttle stick, this one, you can see the bar moving, the AX5 will copy it. Now it's not copying because the rate is set to 0. Okay, so if we change this to plus 100, that means it will follow it exactly linear. So if you now look at the top bar, throttle, when I move the throttle to up plus 100, the AX5 at the bottom is moving to plus 100. Okay, so that means the pump will follow the throttle stick exactly the same. Okay, if you want the pump to move faster, i.e. quicker than the stick, if you change this percentage to 125, the pump won't run any faster, but it will run quickly in relation to the stick. So if I move the stick up to 50% or thereabouts, it's hard to hold it, can you see the pump is now running 60? So as I get to 75%, the pump is nearly maximum. Okay, this is how I run my models, so I don't have any delay in the pump. Okay, so that's the positive side of the stick. If we now go to the other side, normally you would go in a negative fashion. So when you bring the stick down, sorry, I said that wrong, beg your pardon. If you go plus 125 and plus 125, the pump will follow the throttle stick exactly the same. So if I go up, we get plus 100 on the throttle and plus 125 on the pump. If we go down, we get minus 100 and minus 125. that's no good in our instance because we only want the pump to run in one direction. So if we change this setting here to minus, that effectively means it's going to go the opposite way to the throttle channel. Okay, so if you watch, I'll go up, plus 100 and plus 125 on the pump. I'm going to go down, so it's minus 100 on the throttle, but plus 125 on the pump. So the pump will always go forward now. Okay, easy. You could assign this to a switch if you wanted to turn it on and off, or so you could assign it to any switch on the model, or just leave it on because you always want to use it. Next, we'll do the rudder. Okay, so you go normal, the master is the rudder, and we know the slave is AX5, which is the pump. So from experience now, we go 125. So now, if I move the rudder in one direction, it does nothing, and if I move it in the other direction, the pump goes to 126. Okay, that's perfect. Move this side over. And again, because we want the pump to go in one direction, we also make this minus. So now when I move the rudder in one direction, it's plus 100 on the rudder and plus 126 on the pump channel. Now move it in the opposite direction, minus 100 plus 126. Okay, so if I move the throttle up a little bit to 25%, and we see that the pump is on 36, if I also ask for rudder, which is now on 25, can you see the pump increases? Okay, so the pump will now ramp up when you move both sticks together very quickly, therefore allowing you to have the same performance on the pump. Okay, that makes sense, mate. And just carry on with mix. I'll do one more. Mix 3. Save back. Mix 3 will be elevator. Back. Start again. Here we have elevator and we have AX4. So if we go plus 125 and minus. Now one thing to note, this works on a brushless or a speed controller because the endpoint of a speed controller can't go past 100%. If you're using this where you want two servos to copy each other, never go past 100% because the servo will go past its endpoint and damage very quickly. I hope that makes sense. There's nothing to damage in a speed controller, and a speed controller can only go to 100%. If you tell it to go to 125, 150 or 180%, it still will only run maximum at 100%. But the reason for putting 125, as I said before, is the pump runs quicker, therefore giving you more, I think, more control over the servo. So anyway, elevator. What's the channel? Minus 100 plus 125 on the pump, or 127. And then if we go up on the elevator, we got plus 100. Oh, let's turn that back. We've got plus 100 and plus 127. Now, if I move the throttle stick at the same time, can you see it going to 150%? That means the pump won't go any quicker because you're already over 100%, but it will try. If it was a servo, it would make the endpoint go even further and bust your servo. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. If not, leave a comment and I will make another video. Cheers, bye.